What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked on Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay. The Sharks are in Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Both teams suck.
It's going to be a great show.
Analysis over.
Time for play.
Go Sharks.
You're Locked on Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. Back with me, as always, is my co-host, JD. The Toledo to my... Virginia Beach. Those seem like second-rate Midwest cities like Buffalo.
Well, isn't Virginia Beach literally
North Carolina? I don't know. Is Virginia in the Midwest? Who knows? Who could possibly say?
I thought you were going to make a Halo reference.
The Toledo to my Des Moines.
Oh, there
we go. There's some mediocre Midwest cities. Have you? There's lots of corn.
Yes. Oh, the Iowa corn is really good. So, yes.
I need a new co-host so badly.
Wow.
That's one of the most suburban dadcore things you've said in a long time. You know, they have really good corn out there in Iowa. I'm going to take my kids one day to taste that sweet, sweet nectar of the gods. Corn.
Well, I did because Steph, famously from Iowa, went to visit go to her grandparents once, and yeah.
Did they have a corn farm?
No, they did not personally have a corn farm, but there was a lot of corn farms around, so that's really good.
You can go
very
steal
sweet
corn.
Anyway,
yeah, Iowa. Do you think Iowa would ever get an NHL team?
I mean, they have an AHL team, but I don't know if they'd ever reach the NHL level. So,
how many people live in Iowa? Like 1 million?
More than 1 million, but
no. There can't be that many people. It's like a little tiny weird parallelogram.
But Des Moines is a fairly populous.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Population. Iowa has 3.19 million people in it. Des Moines is the capital and largest city, which I knew.
Yep.
It has only 214,000 people in it.
Man,
cool. In the metro area, so in the metro area, it has 700,000 people. So a lot of suburbs in around the Des Moines area. You've got Urbandale, you've got Clive Windsor, you've got
we really stopped
West Des Moines, you got Norwalk, you got Altoona, Bondu. I can't see the rest of that word, and Johnston, famously Johnston. Oh, and how could we leave out Carlisle?
Oh yes.
So anyway,
Carlisle's got some of the sweetest.
Did you know Des Moines' nickname is Hartford of the West?
No.
Talk about aiming low. Jesus, you couldn't pick a better city? Hartford of the West?
If Hartford had an NHL team,
what the hell is Hartford famous for?
Having a defunct NHL team.
What the? Hartford? Anyway. Hartford's home to the country's oldest public art museum, the oldest publicly funded park, the oldest continuously published newspaper, the Hartford Courant, and the second oldest secondary school, Hartford Public School. It's also the home to the Mark Twain House, where the author wrote his most famous works and raised his family. So what do they have, like Don Twain from Des Moines? That's why they went with the Hartford? Jeez. Anyway, I don't think there's many Iowan NHL players.
No, I don't think so.
So the Sharks are in Buffalo on this horrific road trip to take on the Sabres. Buffalo, equally as horrific, worse actually than
worse.
San Jose. Don't get it twisted. San Jose is still 19th in the standings, but falling fast. San Jose's also played a shitload of games compared to everybody else. Buffalo is a comfy 28th in the league. They're 10, 17, and 6 for 26 points. They've played 33 games. They're not good. Stop me when you've heard this before.
I think, though, a more interesting way to look at the standings is, Kyle, it's time for our very first Tankathon standings check-in of the year. So Buffalo is currently 5th in the Tankathon standings. The Sharks, 13th in the Tankathon standings with 35 points. So Yeah, that is, that's how
I
we're
think
going to start.
Tankathon sorts by save points percentage, do they not?
They do sort by points percentage. So right now the Sharks are tied with Vancouver. We're recording this. What day is it? Tuesday
January
night.
4th.
Yes. So peek behind the curtain. We recorded the recap episode. We played like 2 hours of Halo, and then we're recording this episode. So
It's true.
yeah.
We did do that. I didn't have any cold beverages in my fridge, and I didn't fill up my Brita. So instead of putting water on ice, I decided to make myself a Bailey's on the rocks because it would be cold. And then only after I sat down back into the Halo party did I realize that I could have just put water on ice to make it cold. But that's the world I'm living in. I'm all out of sorts after Seattle. Girlfriend's leaving for Australia. It's bad times.
It's
all around.
It's a tough week for Kyle.
Let's dive into the lines for Buffalo so people know how they're going to line up. Remember, this is Tuesday night. Buffalo doesn't play again, so they may change. But Buffalo lines up the $9 million man, Jeff Skinner. You think San Jose has anchors? Boy, they also have their fair share of anchors. Jeff Skinner, number 1C, Tage Thompson.
Not a real person.
That's bad. And Alex Tuck of Vegas fame, part of the Jack Eichel trade. Second line, Victor Olofsson, Peyton Krebs, also part of the Jack Eichel trade, and Kyle Okposo is a name you don't hear too often. Third line, they have a man named Brett Murray, unsure who that is. Cody Eakin and Vinny Hinostroza. Their fourth line is awesome. Anders Bjork, Rasmus Asplund, and John Hayden. On defense, they go Rasmus Dahlin and Henry Jokiharju, which is awesome. Mark Pissick and Ethan Prow, who's also not a real person. Will Butcher and Casey Fitzgerald. And then their goaltenders are Malcolm Subban, and they had to call up Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, which is the best name, because Craig Anderson's on IR. He's like 50 years old. They also have full-timers Robert Hagg out and Casey Middlestat on IR, and then also Dylan Cousins, Zemgus Jurgensen, and Mark Jankowski. So Cousins would be their 1C. Robert Hagg would be in their second pair. Somewhere in there, he'd be like a top 4, maybe top 6 guy. Zemgus Jurgensen's also a regular. Mark Jankowski I don't care about. And Casey Middlestat, famously called amongst most people Casey Middling Stats. They drafted him in the lottery, and he's not very good. So Robert Hagg, Dylan Cousins, Zemgus Jurgensen are the ones that the guys that are missing. The Sharks shouldn't be scared of any of this lineup, but yet I gesture on the YouTube to the Sharks past 2 weeks. And so I don't know.
I mean, the Sharks also famously just can't win in Buffalo. It's like this weird kind of curse thing where they just play terribly in Buffalo. And this is a game where the Sharks are really going to have to dig deep if they want to climb those Tankathon standings here, just because of the roster that the Sabres are putting out there.
It's not that much worse than the roster the Sharks are putting out there. People forget, like, the Sharks have Timo and Hurdle on forward. Then what's the difference? Like, what's the difference between Peyton Krebs and Nick Bonino? What's the difference between I mean, they had Jeff Veal. What's the difference between Jeff Veal and Vinny Hinostroza? You know what I mean? Like, their defense, San Jose's defense has Radim Šimić and Nick Malosh and Jacob Middleton on it. Like, Dahlin and Jokiharju are fine. Will Butcher's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not. Yeah. We laugh because we know how good Hurdle can be, and they have Couture. They have a little bit more, but when you get down to it, it's not like they have so much more that there should be laughing. Buffalo's just sucked for like a decade.
Yeah. And I mean, well, as we're recording this again, so Middleton, we're expecting not to be available. He wasn't feeling good after his concussion.
He wasn't feeling good with an upper body injury. Wonder what that was. Yes. Interesting. Maybe it had something to do with him trying to take a bite out of the glass. Yeah.
Mario Ferraro should be back off the COVID list. So I assume that Ferraro is probably going to go back with Brent Burns since Magna was hanging out with Burns. Then I don't know. I mean, who's going to be Carlson's partner? Because Middleton's been very, very good in that role this year. So I don't know who's going to slide into that Carlson.
I think they throw Vlasic back in.
You think we get Vlasic, who is famously just scratched? So I assume Vlasic then gets, not only does he scratch, he gets promoted to the second pair. So,
and that would leave
Šimić,
Ferraro, Burns, Vlasic, Carlson.
Šimić, Yeah.
Shimmick Milosh. Unless they just go back to scratching Milosh.
Yeah. But then you still
No, I mean Vlasic comes back in and they I guess they would. No, because Ferraro's back.
Yeah. So let's say let's say want to keep playing Megna, or if they want to maybe play Ryan Merkley, but
no, they're not going to do that. I forgot that Jacob Megna played. I forgot it was Jacob season. Sorry, my mistake. They should just keep rolling with the Jacob partners for Erik Karlsson. Any Jacob will do. Yeah, any Jacob would do. I would guess Megna's the first guy back out of the lineup.
Yeah,
maybe not. Maybe Milosh. Hard to say, but I almost certain Vlasic will be coming back into the game, especially with how piss poor the defense played against Detroit. There's no chance that Vlasic's not going to come back in.
Yeah, and that's forward line. So
third liner Jeffrey Veal.
Yeah,
it's your world, Bob. We're just living in it.
Lord Jasper, Jeffrey Veal, and I mean, Hagelwalks I thought looked pretty good. Gregor looked pretty good, I thought, too. In the
Gregor just can't hit the broadside of a barn with a beach ball.
No, he's gone full stormtrooper. He just can't. He can't hit anything right now.
So bad.
It's so poor guy. We even gave him targets for Christmas. He hasn't been using them. That's his problem.
He has it. That's true. He has
it. But I do want to see our soon-to-be Lord and Savior Scott Reedy. I want to see him get some run here as the 4C. So he's played a couple games, and was that PP1
literally played a couple. That was his third game.
So I'd like to see him get some run here, especially with Couture out. I mean, he's no Logan Couture, but
what you're saying is Scott Reedy 1C.
Yes, coming soon. Yes, that's in a couple years. Get him a couple years, but he's scored really well in the AHL with the Barracuda, and it's. I think if he just gets some consistent ice time, that will translate over to the NHL. Just because the way he scores is those greasy goals, and it's not the prettiest way to score. But Joe Pavelski made an entire career of scoring greasy goals. So yeah. You got nothing else to run.
I mean, we're both harping on the fact just bang the drum for get some guys in, get some run going, see what's going on here. There's no point in killing your dudes for no reason.
Brett Burns playing 35 minutes. Could confirm tonight.
Awesome. With the Sabres, though, they only do one thing even mediocre, so the Sharks do have a chance. So they're 26th in goals for 2.64 a game. They take the 24th most shots at 29. The one thing they do halfway decent is their power play. 15th in the league at 19%.
Which is better than the Sharks.
Yep. The shooting percentage, they're 21st at 9%. They're second last in faceoff percentage. And then on defense, they allow 3.48 goals per game, which is 27th in the league. They allow 34.5 shots, which is 30th. They kill the penalty not quite at average at 79.5%, which is T19th. And then they take a buttload of penalties. They're 6th in the league with 7.5 a game. So don't take a penalty against them, and you're really helping yourself out.
Yeah. And especially, I think this could be a game where you would, because especially with the Sharks power play, where it has been bad lately. I mean, to the point where you gave up 2 shorthanded goals in 35 seconds to the Red Wings, to a team who hadn't had a shorthanded goal in 100 games. It would be nice for the power play to get a little bit of momentum going. I know they scored against Pittsburgh, but I mean, again, at that point, Pittsburgh was kind of turtling, or not just kind of, they were turtling for the majority of that game until
running out the minutes. Please, let's go home.
Yeah, please take a knee. But so it would be nice to see the power play try to get going, especially against a bottom tier penalty kill unit. But I have a feeling this game's just going to be a bit of a slog just to watch, because again, it's I think the Sharks are starting to realize the end is coming soon for them. I mean, we saw with Brent Burns saying we got to fix it. We got to fix it. But what is there to fix, honestly?
Yeah, I don't know. They kept talking about execution and making plays and stuff like that. But at some point, the players do got to execute. They're not as good as the team. But at the same time, when you look at the coaching staff and be like, well, the systems aren't working.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a little column A, a little column B, where the system's clearly not working. We've seen the power play once again not be able to do anything. They just stand around. There was a play against The Red Wings, where Erik Karlsson passed it to the winger, and the winger didn't even look at the net and just passed it straight one touch back to Erik Karlsson, and Erik Karlsson caught it and was like, okay, and then walked the line, and neither of the wingers moved, so he passed it to the winger, and the winger, once again, did not look at the net and passed it back to Erik Karlsson. I'm just like, okay. That's fun for some. Not fun for others.
Whoa, guys. Can we slow down this power play right here? Yeah. It's like that's the thing is like good power plays like when they're humming is like people are moving, the puck is moving quickly, and it's like that's how you like creating that chaos is how you create stress on the defense and the goaltender. And I know like the whole hockey like keep it simple, but it's like no, simple power. We watched this simple power play not be able to do anything for the
I don't
past
even know
month.
if it's simple. It just is dumb.
It's just boring. Like, yeah, there's no creativity to it, and it's like it's basically Karlsson passing to the wing, and then the wing's like, I'm gonna pass it back or shoot it. And like, where's those like slot passes? Where's those, like trying to get like lateral movement? And yeah, it's
like everybody's stuck in their own little spot and doesn't want to move or rotate.
Yeah,
it's frustrating. But I mean, like that's systems. When do you look at the coaching staff and their systems? It's frustrating. I just don't understand.
No.
Do you think how many power play goals do you think they're going to score tomorrow?
I'm going to give them one power play goal. I think they get off a little bit of momentum on the power play.
Do you think the over under would be set at half?
I would set the over under at half and take the over.
Where do you think I can bet on this?
Bet online, of course. So Bet Online has got you covered this holiday season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. As football continues its march through college bowl game season and the pro football playoffs, BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 21 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on your favorite sports, so don't wait to take advantage of all the new amazing offers available. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Who do we think we see in net? Because Reimer got pulled, and he's been pretty bad.
And Aiden Hill was quickly came
Aiden Hill comes in, and they rush down the wing, and they shoot it over his glove hand, and his glove hand went like from here, and then like moved an inch after the puck was already in the net.
Yeah,
his glove hand is
it's brutal. Yes. I think Hill gets the start just because he hasn't gotten a lot of run recently. And I think the heavy minutes on Reimer are starting to show an effect right now where he just hasn't been as good the past, couple weeks. So yeah, I think we get Hill tonight to start. So especially
I think you've got to do it. Just give Reimer some time off. Yeah. At this point,
let's see Salchenko. Who gives a shit?
The greatest goalie in Sharks history, Zach Salchenko.
But
remember Alexei Milnichuk? What happened to him?
He's been doing okay with the Barracuda this year. He started to kind of figure things out. So,
what do you think? Josef Korenar has been doing?
Hanging out in Arizona. I don't know.
Tucson. I'm pretty sure he's in the AHL.
He's in Tucson. Yeah. I said Arizona.
So. Good old Tucson. So he this season has played 5 games with the Tucson Roadrunners, putting up an .862 save percentage and a 4.03 goals against average. Womp womp. Tucson's other goaltender is they've had 4. Oh, they have their good prospect Ivan Prosvetov, who's played 15 games, and then Zane McIntyre has played 3. Josef Korenar has played 5. Clearly the worst of the 3, like by like a wide margin. So
yeah,
poor homie.
That's okay.
Yeah. The Tucson Roadrunners top scorer is a guy named Matthias Maselli, and he's Finnish. Weird.
Huh.
There's some good names on the Tucson Roadrunners. Hudson Fasching, Jan Yannick, Yanis Moser, Michael Carcone, Victor Schuderstrom. These are good names. Hudson Elenuk.
Ooh, I like that.
Vladislav Kolyachinok. Bokanji Yamama. Liam Kirk, who's from England. These are good names.
I know Liam Kirk, yeah.
Yeah, so. Blake Spears, yeah. They've got some names working down here. Steph Bayless, that's a sick name. Chaz Rentikop, our old friend. Chaz Rentikop makes his appearance. Oh, and Dyson Mayo played on this team for a second.
Yeah, but I think he was on the.
I thought he was just a regular on the Coyotes because they have nobody else.
Coyotes, Roadrunners.
It's basically the same squad. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think happens in the game?
I think this game's ugly, to be honest. But I think the Sharks win just because I think they have an advantage in goal. It's not much. It's not much, but I think they have an advantage in goal, and I think just they have the upper end echelon talent is better than what the Sabres upper echelon talent is. So, this could be a game where like Timo Meier is just like, you know what, I'm just going to do this myself type of game. But yeah, I think the Sharks, because they won 5-2 last time they played the Sabres, and the Sabres were looking much better at the beginning of the season. But yeah, I'll go with 4-1 Sharks win.
I think we get darker before we get brighter. I think we're going deeper.
Love it.
We're it's darkest before the dawn. We're not out 2 a.m. yet or whatever, and it's dark.
You know what? That makes sense. I keep forgetting the Buffalo thing. You know what? I'm gonna change it.
I think the Sharks lose 4-0.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Sabres win. So, but Timo scores
4-0, and we see the classic changes need to be made speech by somebody or sources or like Corey or Shang reports that changes are.
First, I think we need the team meeting first. We have to have that, like the closed door team meeting.
Couture's got COVID.
Yeah,
that won't happen yet.
But there's still, you
can't have a closed door team meeting without your captain.
Yeah, they set him up on the Zoom.
One of those little moving robots with the screen.
Yes. But yeah, I think the closed door meeting, I think that's the first step, is the closed door meeting before the whispers of changes. So I think especially if the Sharks, because if this road trip ends up 4 or 5 games on this road trip, if this ends up 1-4 or 0-5, yeah, I think that's when you get
I think we're going deeper though. Buffalo sucks.
They do suck.
Got to dive deeper.
They suck.
So bad. Those kids did suck tonight. They're the suckiest bunch of sucks I ever did see. Hey, we don't suck. I gotta get off the phone. My damn wiener kids.
Hey,
we're not wiener. Then why are you dressed like
that?
Classic scene. If you have another favorite Simpsons classic scene, please let us know on Twitter at Locked On Sharks or Facebook or Instagram if you want to let us know your favorite scene there. Maybe we'll talk about it next time. Probably will. We love the Simpsons here. Locked On Sharks on all 3. Locked On Sharks on YouTube. We're 11 subscribers away. By the time you're listening to this, it's probably going to be closer. But we're recording this one as 11. Let's say we're 7 by the time you hear this. Please subscribe. If you're listening to this, you know where to find us. Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple are the big 3. Everyone else is just kind of like that weird person that drives like a Saab. You're like, why? Just get a regular car.
Yeah. Email
lockedonsharks@gmail.com. Don't email us. We haven't got one in a long time. Thank you for your service. Just keep it going, people. Do we have anything to promote? No. Okay, JD, is that my fry hole?
Kyle, is that Kyle Demetrius?
Oh, we got to promote the first listen. Please listen to us first. Thank you for your service.
Please listen for us first. Go listen to Locked On Bets if you want to make some money. Go listen to Locked On Sabres if you want to learn more about how their rebuild has gone to poop. And yeah.
Locked On Pistons.
Locked On Pistons. Locked On Pistons need to bring back the teal. That's my
like the Grant Hill power horse thing.
Yeah, I was talking about the Red Wings about that. Yeah, they need to bring back the
power. The 2000s power horse was great.
Mm-hmm.
Go power horse.
Bye, friends.
Power horse.